How did a literal moth become the first computer bug? Imagine a tiny moth causing a huge problem in a computer. It might sound strange, but this story is a real part of how computers evolved. Back in 1947, engineers working on a very early computer called the Harvard Mark II found something odd. The machine kept malfunctioning, and they needed to find out why. When they opened it up, they discovered a moth trapped between the relay contacts. Relays are switches inside the computer that control electrical signals. The moth had gotten inside and caused a short circuit, stopping the machine from working properly. The engineers carefully removed the moth and taped it into their logbook with a note that read, "First actual case of bug being found." This tiny insect was the first literal bug to be blamed for a computer problem. At the time, the word bug was already used in engineering to describe flaws or glitches. Engineers like Thomas Edison had used the term to describe issues in electrical circuits long before computers existed. The story of the moth became famous because Grace Hopper, a pioneering computer scientist and naval officer, told it in her lectures. She helped make the word bug popular in the world of computers. The story also helped explain the idea of debugging, which means fixing errors in software or hardware. Before this event, debug was used in engineering, but after the moth story, it became a common term in computer programming. This incident is more than just a funny story. It marks a key moment in the history of the digital revolution. Early computers like the Harvard Mark II were complex and prone to mechanical and electrical problems. Finding and fixing these issues was a new challenge for the first computer engineers. The story of the moth shows how they started developing methods and language to troubleshoot these machines. It also highlights how physical problems with hardware could cause software errors, a concept still relevant today. The literal moth that caused the first computer bug became a symbol of the early days of computing. It connected the physical hardware issues with the ideas of fixing and improving machines. This story reminds us that many terms used in modern computing have roots in earlier engineering work. It also shows how problem-solving and innovation were essential in building the powerful digital systems we relying on now. So, that tiny moth played a surprisingly big role in shaping the language and culture of computer technology.